Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liana and welcome to my life. So basically today guys, I've come to a location that's really random. I've never been here before. I'm gonna switch it and show you guys what I'm looking at. It's stunning. I came across a street that overlooks the city. So basically there's like bush, and if you look on the top left hand corner, I don't want to adjust the camera. This is Australia, welcome. So before we get into today's video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up for the city, and comment below something positive. As you read by the title, welcome to Liana's life advice. Although I am studying psychology, watch my video of me in uni. I'll link that down in the description. I am not a licensed psychologist, nor do I claim to be. I tweeted at you guys a bunch of questions that you would like me to give you advice on. Regular, everyday people like you and I who need help and are stuck and are in the exact same predicament. We are all trapped inside. We're all not allowed to be social. It's a harsh reality. So because I film on my phone, I have to kind of go off of memory. So I'm just going to be switching between video and then question. The first question of the day is by a beautiful person. They asked any tips about self-improvement. I just crossed my legs and everything. I'm really getting myself comfortable. Put this on in the car if you're driving. It's kind of like a podcast. If you want to watch me, great. If you want to listen to it in the back, great. Any tips about self-improvement? So self-improvement can come in so many different forms, especially since we're all basically in the same position and there's nowhere really to go or progress. If you evaluate your life, this is what I love to do. I'm going to give you tips on what I've done that's helped me from my experience. Hopefully that can help somebody else. And if I can help just one, my job is done. Also, I like to evaluate my life. And I do this by getting out a piece of paper or book, and it may sound cringe. I know people may be like, are you serious? A book? Yes, I'm serious. Whip out that book, whip out that pen. Sometimes a lot of people misconceive their life differently in their own heads than how it actually is. For example, I know I overthink everything and I think everything's worse than what it is. You put it on a piece of paper and look at the situation and you're like, oh, is that all? You can view the problem a lot easier. Let's say you're feeling like rubbish from sitting all day, you're in the dark a lot because it's a pandemic. What is bothering you? Is it physical? Sit down, write it down. What is hurting? What is bothering you? Is it mental? Are you sad all the time? Further, ask yourself, do I see my friends? Do I speak to my family? Do I have a hobby? Hobby is a very big thing, and I've been trying to force myself to inherit hobbies because I've realized I am an extremely boring person and I do nothing. Hence I have a YouTube channel because it's a hobby of mine that I love. Write down what it is you're feeling and then we can get to the point of what is missing. I'm going to give an example scenario if you're lost and I've kind of lost myself. Now I'm lying down in bed and I'm feeling really sad. I'm depressed. I feel guilty for eating all the time, sitting at home all day in my room just eating. I don't really talk to anybody. I watch Netflix all day, but I'm sick and tired of Netflix and I'm just aggravated with everything. I'm too tired to stand and I'm too tired to lie down. You write that all down on the paper. Now, what we can get from that is you don't need a drastic change instantly because that's impossible. You know, if you do that, if you set so many standards, you're bound to fail. One motto I now live by that I found somewhere, and I don't know where I saw this, and I want to share it with you guys. Improve yourself by 1% every single day, and it's going to be gradual, but by the end of it, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm 56% better in 56 days. Every single day, tweaking something a little bit. So let's say you start with your lying down. All right, 1%, stand up and walk around. You don't have to leave the house, but just standing up, walking around is 1%. It's forcing yourself into a bit more physical. 2%, instead of sitting in the darkness with your blinds shut, I do this religiously. I go in the backyard, I pull up a chair, I sit there in the sun, and vitamin D is proven to enhance your mood. We need it as humans. It's a requirement of our living. Absorbing the vitamin D is really going to help you have a mood booster scientifically. So it's not even mental at that point. That's like scientifically way to proven to get you in that 2% better. So now you're walking, you're in the sun just for even 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's going to make the absolute world of difference. 3%, you're eating like rubbish. One thing about eating is that's very hard because with sugar, it causes something in your brain. It's like a spike of endorphins and dopamine, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when you're in bed all day, you're bored, you have nothing more to do. What is exciting to you? What interests you? Eating. eating that sugary food, eating a lot of like fast food takeaway, and I've been battling this. But that's definitely something that gives your mind enjoyment even though your body is suffering. That's where a hobby comes in. Try everything once, experience it, because how can you know if you haven't tried? How do you know if you haven't done it? Try every hobby until one sticks. I hope that advice helped you. Self-improvement, and use that in every single aspect, with relationships, health, mentally, physically, love, pets, creativity. I don't know, do with it as you will. On to question 2. This person asked, any tips for being more outgoing and confident when meeting new people? Now, this is something I struggled with a lot when I was younger, as a 13 to like 15-year-old. You're transitioning from younger school to older. I'm gonna give you guys the straight, cold, hard facts. The world isn't designed for everyone to be exactly the same. We wouldn't all function if everybody was an extrovert, and we wouldn't all function if everyone was an introvert. What do you identify as? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Personally, me, I'm more of an introvert that forces myself to be an extrovert, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's what you're asking. You are an introvert, but you're looking just to be extroverted in social situations. It's all about practice, practice, practice. You don't just become an extrovert and confident overnight. It's what you kind of believe about yourself. If you have low self-esteem, you have to grow and learn to love yourself, because it's going to help you accept yourself more and become more confident and believe exactly what you're like putting out. If you're confident in what you're wearing, for example, you're going to be more extroverted because like this is you feel secure in yourself. So definitely first steps is feeling confident in what you're wearing and yourself. We just fell again, but we're going to persevere. We're going to keep going, because that's what we do on this channel. If you are in a social situation, strike up the conversation by forcing yourself to make the first step to say, hi, how are you? My name's Liana. Basically, you being the person to initiate it automatically displays confidence to the other person, because you are capable of starting up the conversation. It allows them to feel comfortable to open up to themselves, because remember, not everyone is as confident and extroverted as they seem. If you remember that everyone's in the same position as you, we're all human. If you don't understand that, then it will never get through to your head. We're on the exact same level. I don't need to prove myself to be extra, and I don't need to think higher of them than myself. Also, this is something that I do. I force myself into situations that make me uncomfortable. I'm the type of person who loves to experience, try new things, and constantly grow. That's just like who I am. So if you're kind of like resonating with that, go for it, do it, throw yourself into every scenario you can, but obviously safe and healthy scenarios. I'm not saying to go out and like jump off a cliff. Like that is definitely not the go. I'm trying to summarize that everyone can kind of like, you know, take something from. Question 3, how do you accept a part of your life in the past, whether it be good or bad, and move on from it? This is a really good question. You guys are a little bit creative. Everybody experiences things in their life. They're the kind of moments that are, I wouldn't say traumatic, but I just use that word always. Even if it's a good experience, I just like to say like trauma is something that sticks with you. The meaning behind it is like a bad thing happening to you, but I just say good trauma, bad trauma. I'll say bad, somebody passing away in your life. Good, I'll say landing a job, your dream job that you've studied in university or college for, and you finally got into where you want to be. I'll talk about the bad side more first. Moving on from it, it happened for a reason. Another thing, everything happens for a reason is my number one, always will be my number one saying. Even if it affected you negatively or positively, it was meant to be there in your life for growth. I don't know that for you, only you know the reason it could have happened. That everything that's ever happened has been to put you on your life's path for the greater good. Life doesn't stop for you, it's always moving forward. Anything that's happened in the past, it's happened already. You can't go back, you can't change it, you will never be able to alter it. The past is out of the question. You will always remember those traumatic events, but you have to remember them in the way that they're benefiting you for future purposes, whether it be for yourself, people around you, or you still haven't even discovered why it exactly happened. You could be rock bottom right now, but I promise you're going to come out on the other end better than you were before. The only thing that moves you on from the past is time. Time heals all. There's nothing you can do to speed the recovery other than letting time pass naturally and basically accepting it for what it is and realizing everything's happened for a reason. That's my little 2 cents for that one. I hope I kind of helps you in a little bit. Question 4, somebody asked advice on breakups. The best way to overcome a breakup. Go back to question 1. Pull out a piece of paper, get out a book, and write down the pros of that person in that relationship and write down the cons of that person in that relationship. If there is more cons you made a great decision. Even though it's hurting in the moment, I'm telling you, long term, it's going to benefit you so much and you're going to grow. Those bad experiences are what makes you you and gives you the characteristics of strength, the willingness to go on, and then shows you exactly what you don't want in a partner and leads you to the ultimate best partner, the one that was kind of made for you, soulmate, if you will. Definitely, like I said before, time. You need to let yourself feel everything. You need to cry. You need to wallow in your tears. Get a tub of ice cream if you must. Let yourself have that moment. And then I want to see you on that hustle. Go get yourself a new outfit or construct an outfit that looks fire. Go out, meet new people, have fun. When you're doing that, you're going to be so distracted, not even thinking about the breakup, and time's just going to be passing. You're going to look back and be like, why did I let myself get treated like an absolute pile of... Okay guys, next question. I think we're up to 5. Remembering it from the top of my head because, like I said, I'm using my phone. I can go on about this one because this is a very relatable one. She basically asked, what do you do when you're not comfortable around your best friend of 12 years anymore? And she's so uncomfortable that she doesn't have fun with her anymore when they hang out, and she doesn't want to hurt her feelings, but she wants to let her go because she knows it'll be more beneficial for her. She'll be relieved finally when she gets rid of her. What you're saying is you've had a really lifelong friend, 12 years, probably stems back to your younger memories. You've one day woken up and realized that this person isn't for you anymore, whatever the reason be, because they make you uncomfortable to the point where you're not actually having fun, which is toxic kind of to have around. You don't want someone dragging you down, making you feel negative and uncomfortable, and you want to get rid of her. I'm guessing to grow, just move on with your life and eliminate that toxicity. Now, I've been in a very similar situation with that. I understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of people can. Most people have like lifelong friends, and it's so much harder because they are a friend of so many years. It's okay to grow and change and realize that this person isn't for you anymore. You're at a different stage in your life. Every stage requires different environments. If you're 12 years older now, your life is probably flipped. It's completely opposite to what it was back then. You made friends with that person due to a certain circumstance, whether it be, let's say, primary/elementary school. It only made sense. You were in the same school every single day, seeing each other. But now you could be graduated. You're at a different part of your life. You're in college. You have a partner now, moved out of home. So many reasons. My only tip for this one would be probably you have to pull back, and it's going to feel extremely awkward. It's going to feel uncomfortable on your end for your own well-being, because if you're not a confrontative, is it confrontative? If you don't have the confronting type of personality, if you can tell the person straight up, hey, look, I feel like we're at different points in our life. I love catching up with you every now and then, but I don't have time to see you every day and be attached to the hip anymore. And they reciprocate it well. Great. Perfect. You got a perfect duo, but just from a distance. But if it's someone who's very defensive and they're like arguments, and then they're going to contest it, realizing your self-worth and your happiness is more important, and then taking measures to avoid situations with that person. So let's say they invite you somewhere. A simple, I'm sorry, I'm spending the day with a family today. Good first step. Sorry, I'm working tonight. The go, like, to not hurt their feelings but drift. They will figure out that you're not wanting to see them as much. If they are taking it harsh, then the best thing just to do is honestly sit them down, just come to like a mutual understanding that it's not going to be how it was before. You guys can still chat every now and then, put that friendship on hold, and either come back to it one day when you're both in a better place, or it's something that just needs to die out. Oh, that's what it is. People come in your life for a reason or a season. And that means somebody's in your life for a purpose, to better you or for you to better them, or a season, loving, caring, fun, friendship/relationship for a short period of time, hence the season. Just like winter is 3 months, friendship could be the 12-year season. That's a long season, but it could be for sure. Okay guys, on to the final question. I have been chattering for quite a long time, and I will definitely be making part 2 of Liana's life advice. I graduate next year and my parents want me to study medicine, but that's not what I want to do. Help me, please. You also mentioned that you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you just know you don't want to do medicine. This is the absolute story of my life, feeling like I don't belong in any sector, and have been a lost fish for, I would say, majority of my life. This is something that I feel like you can't figure out in a day in a week. Everyone eventually finds out what's made for them. One thing I can say I'm very thankful for is my family were never forceful of a particular occupation on me. This is something bound to happen in every single teenager's life. Everybody goes through that. Everyone seems like they have their stuff together. I promise you they don't. Nobody really has it together. Most adults that you know are probably very incapable and still don't know what they're doing. Because I don't really have experience of somebody sitting me down and kind of like saying, I want you to be a doctor. I can't speak from that perspective because I know so many people who are forced into occupations. It's not something I can just easily say, just talk to them how you feel and it will be okay, because it's not always like that. A lot of parents don't take well with that kind of information, hearing that their child does not want to be a doctor or a lawyer. I know, crazy thought we don't just want to be one of the two occupations you give us. It all has to start with a conversation. You need to build up the courage, voice what you want. In my cases of life growing up, when I didn't want something, I could never just go to my parents and say, I don't want this, because then they'll go, all right, what do you want? And if I have nothing to say, go back to what you were doing. First, game plan it up. One thing I always did, I went on Google and I pulled up like jobs A to Z and write down every single thing that interested me. I narrow it down to 10 things that interest you on that piece of paper. Write down every single one's salaries, then write down every single one's pro, every single one's con. A pro could be, I love learning about the human body. Con could be, I don't like night shifts. Like for example, nurses, they're on call. Maybe even like if your school has like an intern thing, like a careers advisor, just to gain experience and see for yourself, do I like it or do I hate it? When you have everything kind of sorted and you've like exhausted every possible outcome, go to your parents, sit them down. End of the day, you need to make sure you're making yourself happy. This is your life. You're going to be the one working this job, not them. Are they going to be sitting there prescribing somebody tablets? No, that's going to be you. You're going to be writing up those tablets. And when you have a backup plan, at least you're coming to them with more logic. They can't question you about anything because you have the pro, you have the con, you have the salary. All questions parents love to harass us about. So thank you so much for watching. This was a really long video, I'm not going to lie. But I didn't mind it because I like talking to you guys. I hope this advice helped somebody in some way. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for part 2 of Liana's life advice. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day or night. Everything happens for a reason. And I'll see you guys in next week's video.